Striker Scorpion 82 is now sponsored by Warhammer Combat Cards, a card battle game featuring your favourite Citadel miniatures from the 40k universe. Build your army decks, dominate opponents in player versus player action, collect and upgrade cards to fit your strategy, improve their power and unlock unique traits. Choose from all 40k factions, take part in campaigns based on iconic 40k battles, rise to the top of the leaderboard and win glory. Free to download and play, link is in the video description below or on the channel homepage, and by using the unique link it helps support the channel. Thanks and enjoy the game. Alright, welcome to this review for Chapter Approved 2019. It's arrived here. It's interesting what Games Workshop have done. You now get the two, so you get the Militarum and Field Manual with all of the points covered. So there's a ton of stuff here. I've updated as many codexes as I can get my hands on, and I've made separate videos. I've broken it down into 4 sections. So Imperium, one video, Forces of Chaos being another one, Xenos in the other, and then as requested, people said, couldn't you do the Forge World points updates? I've done that as well. So check out those separate videos, watch whatever one is relevant to you for all of your points covered in those 4 videos. So usually that was the main feature, the points were the main feature of my review for Chapter Approved, but that's been separated from here now. So I'm going to go through the Chapter Approved, take a look at what is inside this publication here. They've changed the cover, usually a glossy sort of finish. This is more of a matte laminate finish here with this one's Chapter Approved. And I mean, one of the main features is the new missions. Looking forward to this. Is a new layout as well. Nice. So your content then is your open war cards. That's all covered now in here. That's on page 11. Open War Army Generator. Spearheads talked about, linked games, challenge missions, new battlefronts, 62 Eternal Mission, or 62 missions, Eternal Missions, page 62. Schemes of War, new and updated data sheets, and then battlefield terrains all clarified again as well. So really, this is like a, you take your regular rules and this, and I think pretty much you can ignore the other Chapter Approved. This one supersedes it, this one overrules everything. I believe that's the way it works. So, introduction, ways to play 40k. There's loads of ways to play now. So open play games, just grab some models and play. You've got these open war cards, that's all covered here. Method 1 is drafting cards. Method 2, secret agenda. Method 3, covert operations. Open War Army Generator as well. All the details of that. Open War Army Generator. Roll D66. Then you've got narrative play. Great piece of artwork there, Death Watch against the Eldar. So you've got Spearhead. It's clarifying some of the terrain here. There's so many ways to play Warhammer 40,000. Talks about tank aces as a strategy before it there. There's a battle zone, tank graveyard. We've played some games of tanks, debris strewn all across the battlefield. There's some rules here. Let's talk about Spearhead missions. Mission here, Wall of Iron. These look fun. We can always give these a try. Mission, the next one's the trap is sprung. And the third mission is counter-attack. And you get some unique stratagems to use as well for that. And more. There's loads of it. some artwork here. Chaos Knights against Imperial Knights. Dark Mechanicum, it looks like occultists moving through the shattered remains here. Then you've got linked games, giving you all the details there as well. Assault on the Scrap Cities, War of Nightmares, all the different rounds that you can play for that. The diversity really is incredible now. Secure the artifacts, saboteurs. Then you've got what's called challenge missions. Whilst many of the games of Warhammer 40,000 you play will take place between roughly even forces, it is a rare battle indeed that is ever that balanced. Often one force is hopelessly outclassed but can still achieve a victory of sorts, even if they're subsequently annihilated. Oh, I see. Yeah, why not? Narrative challenge mission and plot hooks and ideas. Another amazing piece of artwork there, the Death Watch against the Orks. So, challenge mission, last stand. So, useful enough perhaps, for example, you're an established player, you've got a big army, and then your opponent is just getting into 40k and he's painted up a patrol, and instead of waiting around saying, well, you know, I've got to wait ages until I can play, you just play one of these challenge missions. Just got to be careful the person who's new to collecting and doesn't get too discouraged if they're wiped out, but it can be a lot of fun to see how many of the enemy you can take with you before you're wiped out. So they cater for that here with some missions and unique stratagems and so on. Headhunters, domination. Right, so then on to matched play next. So yeah, there's your missions just here. So mission rules. So new battlefronts. I will. This is clarification of a load of stuff here. As to if there's any changes or not. I'm going to run through this, and then that, especially for people. Sometimes I get comments from people saying, you know, what is the rule here? Where is it found? And so on. Well, this is all your clarifications here. So that's the missions, match play mission rules. The following rules apply to all match play games. So Battle Brothers. All the units in each attachment in your Battle Forged I must have at least one faction keyword in common. In addition, this keyword cannot be Chaos, Imperium, Eldar, Ynnari or Tyranids unless the detachment in question is a fortification network. This has no effect on your army faction. So clarifying that, for Battle Brothers, boots on the ground. When determining which player controls an objective marker, exclude all units that have the flyer, not fly, but flyer, battlefield role. These units can never control objective markers. So we've seen these rules being gradually introduced and beta rules and clarified and so on, but it's now all solidified here in chapter proved. So limits of command as well. You cannot use the command reroll stratagem to affect mission dice rolls. Mission dice rolls include any dice rolls that are made before the battle begins, such as those that determine who chooses deployment zones or who gets the first turn. Those that must be made at the end of a battle round, such as rolls that determine if the battle ends, or any rolls that determine how many victory points are awarded to a player. Then prepared positions has been clarified now, and then there's further clarification of prepared positions where it doesn't affect Titanic units or aircraft units, and units with the fortification or flyer battlefield rolls. Other units, they'll get cover. It's 2 command points, so it's a bit of a help to those who don't get to go first in the game. Psychic focus, with the exception of smite, each psychic power can only be attempted, not manifested, but even attempted once per turn, rather than once per psyker per turn. In addition, unless the psychic attempting to manifest smite is either the Brotherhood of Psykers, Grey Knights, or Brotherhood of Sorcerers, that's Thousand Suns, you must have 1 to the walk charge value of smite. So it gets 1 point harder each time. That gives you an example. Strategic discipline. The same stratagem cannot be used by the same player more than once during any single phase. This does not affect stratagems that are not used during a phase, such as those used with, for example, before the battle or at the end of a battle round. Ah, right, at the end of a battle round. Interesting. Tactical reserves. Instead of being set up on the battlefield, during deployment, many units have the ability to be set up in teleportariums and high orbit ambush and so on. In order to arrive on the battlefield mid-game as reinforcements, when setting up your army during deployment for a match play game, at least half the total number of units in your army must be set up on the battlefield, and the combined points value of all the units you set up on the battlefield during deployment, including those that are embarked upon transports, must be at least half of your army's points as well. Even if every unit in your army has an ability that would allow them to be set up elsewhere. Furthermore, in match play games, units that are not placed on the battlefield during deployment in order to arrive on the battlefield mid-game as reinforcements cannot arrive on the battlefield during the first battle round. Yep, and then finally, any unit that does not arrive on the battlefield by the end of the third turn is destroyed. So it's just the standard final clarified rules for that. Tactical restraint. There are several warlord traits, relics, psychic powers and abilities that give you a chance to gain or refund command points. Each player can only gain or have refunded a total of 1 command point per battle round as the result of such rules, regardless of the source and command points that are spent on stratagems that are not used during a battle round, such as those that are used before the battle can never be refunded. Right, okay, yes, yeah. The limit of gaining or refunding 1 command point per battle round does not apply to the Moment Shackle or the Sevenfold Chant abilities or to the player of the Twilight Warlord trait. In these cases, the ability of Warlord trait can refund or gain the player more than 1 command point if the stratagem costs 2 or more. Alright, so like Harlequins, for example, has the ability to regain, depending on your dice roll, multiple command points. So they're just clarifying that there. But once any command points have been gained as a result of the rule, neither it nor any similar rule can be used to gain any more command points till the next battle round. Also note this does not apply to command points that are gained or refunded as specifically instructed on stratagems. For example, Feeder Tendrils and Agents of Vector. Gotcha, okay, yeah. Feeder Tendrils for the Tyranids. With Gene Stealers, they slay a character, you spend a command point, you get D3 command points back. It doesn't affect that. Right, so it's all been clarified here, very good. Targeting characters. An enemy character with wounds characteristic of less than 10 can only be chosen if they're the closest model. And ignore other enemy characters with wounds characteristic of less than 10 to determine if the character is the closest enemy unit. Yeah, so characters can't block characters there, and then this means if any other enemy units, excluding other characters with wounds characteristic of less than 10 or closer, whether they're visible or not, then the enemy character cannot be targeted. And then understrength support. Understrength units can only be included in auxiliary support detachments. Just there. Right, okay, so then you've got your missions. So for Eternal, you've got Crusade, then Scorched Earth. So some of these names coming up again. Frontline Warfare, Ascension, 4 Pillars. Then you've got one here called Lockdown for Eternal War. So you would plan to play we'll go through all these missions here. Gradually as time goes on, you'll get to see all these missions being played. Then you've got Schemes of War. To play the Master of War missions on the following pages, the players will each require a deck of tactical objective cards and must use the rules described in this section for tactical objectives instead of those from using tactical objective section of the Warhammer 40,000 rulebook. So, this is interesting. So you're going to be, when you come to a Maelstrom of War mission, you've got to go through this section here to get your updated rules. Different way of playing, slightly. Some adjustments have been made. Okay, so we'll go through this here because this has been changed the way it's played. So constructing your objective deck first of all. Before playing one of the following Maelstrom of War missions, after your opponent has shared their army roster with you, you must construct an objective deck. This deck should be made up of a minimum of 18 tactical objective cards chosen from the pool available to your army. No more than 1 copy of each uniquely named tactical objective can be included in the decks. There was hints, or Games Workshop were heading in this direction. In some of the previous missions you had to remove, you could choose cards to remove, but now you're actually building a deck here before the game. Using tactical objectives after the battlefield has been created and terrain set up, the players roll off and start with the winner. Alternate setting up objective arcs until 6 has been placed on the battlefield. 12 inches away from other objectives, 6 inches from a board edge. That's all as usual, unless otherwise stated. The player controls an objective mark if they have more models within 3 inches than their opponent. Then you've got the rules for things like troops and so on. Using your objective deck at the start of the first battle round, each player shuffles their objective deck and draws 5 tactical objective cards. If either player is not happy with the initial cards that they have drawn, they can choose to place them at the bottom of their objective deck in any order and draw 4 new tactical objective cards. That's pretty It's completely changed here. At the start of your turn, put tactical objective cards from your hand into play until you have 3 in play. Tactical objectives, or there are no cards left in your hand. A tactical objective card is considered to be generated when it's put into play. Alright, so you have your hand and then actually putting cards into play here. When putting a tactical objective card into play, place it either face up for both players to see or face down. Its details kept hidden from your opponent until such a point as it is either achieved or discarded. No player can have more than one face down in play tactical objective at any point, unless otherwise specified. Right, so you've got to have them all visible apart from one you can keep hidden if you wish. Yeah, so this is a real change here. So drawing tactical objective cards. When you draw a tactical objective card, take the top card from the objective deck and add it to your hand. The player's hand is kept hidden from their opponent for the duration of the battle. If there are no cards left in the objective deck, you're instructed to draw a tactical objective card, do nothing instead. And discarding cards, you can discard a tactical objective card, place it face up on your discard pile. Tactical objective cards in a discard pile not considered to be in play. A discard pile is not part of the player's objective deck. So priority orders received. The purpose of generating a bonus tactical objective for the priority orders received objective card yet when it comes up, select one tactical objective card from your hand, put it into play. If you do not have a card to put into play, discard priority orders received instead. Priority orders received and that tactical objective card count as one combined tactical objective card when determining how many you have in play. It's quite straightforward. You can only achieve in-play tactical objectives, after you have finished putting any tactical objectives into play. Draw tactical objective cards until you have a hand of 5 cards. Okay. And then achieving tactical objectives. At the end of every turn, yours and your opponent's, you must check to see if you have achieved any of your in-play tactical objectives. Descriptions will tell you how and when they are achieved and how many victory points are scored for achieving them. If you can achieve a tactical objective at the end of a turn, you must reveal it if necessary and immediately score the victory points for it. You cannot choose not to do so. Players can achieve any number of tactical objectives in the same turn. After a tactical objective has been achieved, that card is discarded. Discarding in-play tactical objectives. At the end of the morale phase, you can discard any of your in-play tactical objectives. Just choose to dump them. Alright. And then they've got some stratagems here as well. It's a bit of a shake-up here for Maelstrom. Yeah. So again, I think that's the usual for chapter approved. This will only apply to the missions found in this book here. I don't think it's gonna... Yeah, I think it's for these missions here. So, here we go. 2 command points, reprioritise. Use this stratagem at the start of your turn. Discard up to 2 tactical objective cards from your hand and draw a new tactical objective card for each card that was discarded. Tactical Foresight, 1 command point. Use this stratagem at any point during the turn. You can look at the top 3 cards of your objective deck and choose to put each back on either the top or the bottom of the deck in any order. You're going to use this stratagem once per turn. So command points even more important now. Yeah, determined to push 2 command points. Use this stratagem at any point during the turn. Select up to 3 tactical objectives from your discard pile and shuffle them back into your objective deck. You're going to use this stratagem once per turn. Okay. And then on to the objectives then. Covert Maneuvers is the first mission. Ambitious Surge. Second mission, Critical Objective. And then Disruptive Tactics. Territorial Control. And then Confined Command here for the 6th mission. So as I said earlier, we'll work our way through these. And obviously with the new rules here, with the Schemes of War, for Maelstrom of War. Missions. Okay, so then you come to the appendix now. New and updated data sheets. So we'll run through these. Here's just your Slanesh stuff. I don't think I've ever played against this kind of. Maybe one time, and a player had Chaos Demons, but it's quite rare. At least where I'm, the context of where I'm playing games, that you'll see an army of these. So Syl-esque, the Vengeful Allegiance. Movement. It's power level 11. Movement 9. Ballistics, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 2+, strength 4, toughness 6, 8 wounds, 8 attacks, leadership 9, 4 up save. It's armed with a Scourging Whip and Axe of Dominion. The whip for shooting is range 6, assault d6, strength use AP -2 and 1 damage. The weapon can be fired even if there are enemy units within an inch of the bearer. Right, so you can use it in combat, that's very cool. Attacks made with this weapon can target enemy units within an inch of friendly units. So you can pick enemy models out as well, enemy units out even whilst in combat with a friendly unit. Axe of Dominion +3 strength, fighting at strength 7, AP -3 and 3 damage. And 8 attacks. Scary, that one. And the melee in combat, the whip in melee is AP -1, strength user, 1 damage. Make D3 hit rolls for each attack, so you get a load of attacks. Yeah, so we're going to average about 16 attacks. Demonic Quicksilver Swiftness, Demonic Ritual, special rules. That's from Codex Chaos Demons. Prince of Slaanesh, reroll hit rolls of 1 for attacks made by friendly Slaanesh demon units, also in 6. Locus of Slaanesh, add 1 to strength characteristic models into Slaanesh demon units, whilst the unit is within 6 inches of any friendly model's this ability. And Regal Authority, you can reroll morale test taken for friendly Slaanesh demon units whilst within 6. Yeah, loads of great bonuses here. And Deadly Symbiosis. When this model is chosen to fight with for the first time in the fight phase, it can only make attacks with one of its equipped weapons. In addition, after making a consolidation move for the first time in the fight phase, this model can make a number of attacks equal to its attacks characteristic with its other equipped weapon. If this model made a charge move this turn, these attacks can only be made against unit the model declared a charge against. And on top of all of that, you can attempt to manifest 1 psychic power and deny 1. No smite and 2 powers from the Slaanesh discipline. Yeah, it's a brilliant stat line, deadly unit, that one. For sure. A Shalaxi Hellbane, power level 12. Weapon skill of 2+, ballistic skill 2+, strength 6, toughness 7, 16 wounds, leadership 10, and 6 up save. And the wounds here then, 9 to 16 wounds is movement 14, it drops to 11 and 7. Attacks is 6, 5 and then 4. And Snapping Claws is 4, 3 and then 2. So it's equipped with the Living Whip, Snapping Claws, Soul Piercer. So the Living Whip is the same as before. It's a Scourging Whip. This is range 6. Assault 6, a guaranteed 6. Attacks here, strength 6, -2 and 2 damage. This weapon can be fired even if there are enemy models, same rules within an inch of the bearer, and you can hit enemy units faster within an inch of friendly units as well. Snapping Claws, strength for the user, AP -3 and 3 damage. When this bearer fights, makes a number of additional attacks with this weapon equal to the number shown on the damage table. Oh, right there, yeah. When resolving an attack made with this weapon on a wound roll of 6+, it has 9 penetration of AP -4, so like Rending Claws. There, and then the Soul Piercer is melee weapon times 2 strengths, fighting strength 12, AP -4 and D6 damage. Resolve an attack with this weapon against a character, wound roll of a 6+, has a damage characteristic of 6. Oh god. Pretty nasty stuff here from Slaanesh. Demonic Quicksilver Swiftness, Demonic Ritual. Greater Demon, round test is taken for any Slaanesh demon unit within 6. You can use this model's leadership, which is 10. Mesmerizing Aura. Resolve an attack made by a melee weapon against this model, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Cloak of Constriction. Resolve an attack made by a melee weapon against this model, subtract 1 from the wound roll. Delicate Precision, resolve an attack made by this model, reroll a wound roll 1. Shining Aegis. If this model has a Shining Aegis, then when it would lose a wound roll d6, on a 6 the wound is not lost. If that model would be lost as a result of a mortal wound, the wound is not lost on a 5+. And then Monarch of the Hunt. This model can perform heroic intervention if their enemy units within 6 instead of 3. If their enemy units of any of those enemy units are characters, when doing so you can move up to 6 inches instead of 3, as long as it ends move closer to the closest enemy character model. In addition, when this model makes a pile move within 6 of any enemy character units, it can move up to 6 instead of 3, as long as it ends its move close to the closest enemy character. You can manifest 2 psychic powers and deny 1, get no smite and 2 powers from the Slaanesh discipline. Another very powerful HQ unit, just there. Infernal Enraptures or Enraptures. Infernal Enrapturess. HQ choice, power level 4, movement 7, ballistic skill, weapon skill of 2+, strength 4, toughness 3, 4 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 8 and a 6 up save. Heartstring Lyre and Ravaging Claws. The light is, you can choose which one. The Cacophonous Melody, range 18, assault 6, strength 4, -1 and 1 damage. Or the Euphonic Blast, range 24, assault 1, strength 8, -3 and 3 damage. The Ravaging Claws, strength for the user, AP -1, 2 damage. And then any 6s is AP -4. Demonic Quicksilver Swiftness, Demonic Ritual, Discordant Disruption. When a psychic test is taken for a model within 24 of any models with this ability, that model suffers perils of the warp on a roll that includes any doubles. Harmonic Alignment. When this model attempts to summon a Slanesh demon unit using Demonic Ritual ability, add 3 to the summoning roll. In addition, at the start of your turn, roll 1d6 for each Slanesh demon unit from your army within 6 of any for any models with this ability. On a 6, you can return 1 destroyed model from the unit to the battlefield with all of its wounds remaining, placing it in unit coherency. If the model cannot be placed in this way, it's not returned to the battlefield. And then Contorted Epitome is an HQ choice, power level 10, movement 12, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 2+, strength 5, toughness 5, 8 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 8 and a 6 up save. It's Coiled Tentacles and Ravaging Claws. Tentacles is strength for the user, strength 5, AP -2 and 3 damage. And Ravaging Claws is AP -1, 2 damage, strength for the user. When the bearer fights, it makes 8 additional attacks with this weapon, and no more than 8 can be made with this weapon. Resolve an attack made by this weapon on a 6+, it's again AP -4. Usual special rules there for Chaos Demons. Locus of Slanesh, add 1 to strength characteristic models in Slanesh demon units also in 6. Gifted power and psychic test, or neither which test is taken with this model, add 1 to the total. Swallow Energy, and this model would lose a wound as a result of a mortal wound on a roll 1d6. And 2+, the wound is not lost. Strange, God. And Horrible Fascination. So you can't really smite this thing to death. Horrible Fascination. When a unit within 6 inches of any enemy model's this ability is chosen to fall back, roll 3d6 if the total is greater or equal to that unit's leadership characteristic. The unit cannot fall back this turn. Yeah, useful unit. Can attempt to manifest 2 psychic powers and deny 2. You know, smite and 2 powers of the Slanesh discipline. Keeper of Secrets is next. You know, very strange army, this one. Very strong theme running with these as well. Yeah, some crazy models and some crazy rules here. Very powerful. HQ choice, power level 11. Weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 2+, toughness 7, 16 wounds, leadership 10 and 6 up save. The damage table is movement 12, then 9, then 6. Strength of 6, 5 and 4, and then attacks of 6, 5 and 4. It's armed with the Snapping Claws. And the Wit Stealer Sword, and a Ritual Knife as well. Yeah, a Living Whip, strength, range 6, assault 6, strength 6, -2, 2 damage. So I've seen that one already. The Snapping Claws. Okay. Strength. Snapping Claws. Yeah, not sure what's going on with this one yet. Living Whip. Okay. Doesn't have it on the description. And then for Snapping Claws, there's no doesn't tell you how many Snapping Claw attacks it gets. It's just strength and then regular attacks. Shown on its damage table. I suppose you're taking your normal attacks. Just the other one here, for Shalaxi Hellbane, gives you your attacks and then it gives you your Snapping Claw attacks as well, but it's not included here for some reason. Any 6 to wound is AP -4, but you make your number of attacks to match the number here. I take it, just take it from your regular attacks. The Wit Stealer Sword is +2 strength, fighting at strength 8 at best, AP -3 and 3 damage. It's -1 to hit rolls. Yeah. Now, when resolve an attack by model that has lost 1 or more wounds from an attack made with this weapon, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Okay. War gear options. This model can be equipped with 1 living whip instead of having a ritual knife. Right, so that's explained. The model can have one of the following instead of having a ritual knife: Shining Aegis or Sinistrous Hand. Usual special rules. Chaos Demons. Greater Demon and morale test is taken. They can use its leadership. Delicate Precision. Reroll when resolving an attack made by this model. Reroll wound roll 1. Shining Aegis. If this model was a Shining Aegis, then when it would lose a wound, roll d6 on a 6. The wound is not lost. If it's a mortal wound, it's a 5+. The Ritual Knife. After making consolidation moves, select one enemy unit within an inch of this model. Roll 1d6. On 2 to 5, the unit suffers a mortal wound. On a 6, it's d3 mortal wounds. Mesmerizing Aura. Resolve an attack made by a melee weapon against this model, subtract 1 from the hit roll. And the Sinistrous Hand. If this model has a Sinistrous Hand at the end of the fight phase, if any enemy models that are not vehicles are destroyed as a result of an attack made by a melee weapon by this model regains up to d3 lost wounds. Manifest 2, deny 1, and no smite and 2 other powers. No Slaanesh discipline. Herald of Slaanesh, HQ, power level 6. It's on an Exalted Seeker Chariot. Ballistic skill 2+, strength 4, toughness 5, 12 wounds, leadership 8 and a 4-up save. Movement is 12, 10 and then 8. Weapon skill 2+, 3+, 4+, and attacks of 8, 6 and then 4. It's Lashes of Torment and Ravaging Claws and Lashing Tongues. Lashes of Torment is range 6, assault d6, strength 4, -0, 1 damage. And again, those rules where you can fire into combat. Lashing Tongues, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. If the bearer fights, makes 8 additional attacks with this weapon. No more than 8 can be made with this weapon. Then Ravaging Claws, AP -1, strength user, 2 damage. Any 6s is a -4 on the AP. Usual special rules. Locus of Slaanesh. Add 1 to strength. Characteristic of friendly Slaanesh demon units also in 6. And Scything Impact. After this model finishes a charge move, roll 1d6 for each enemy model that's within an inch. 5+ it's a mortal wound. Pretty cool. And it can attempt to manifest 1 and deny 1. No smite and 1 power. Herald of Slaanesh next. So, power level 5, HQ choice. Movement 12, weapon skill, ballistic skill 2+, strength 4, toughness 5. It's on a Seeker Chariot, by the way. Wound 7, 6 attacks, leadership 8 and a 4-up save. Lashes of Torment, Lashing Tongues, Ravaging Claws, which I think we've covered all the rules for. Usual special rules, and then Locus of Slaanesh, that +1 strength, and Scything Impact for that as well. Okay. And it knows 1, deny 1, and it knows smite 1 other power. Herald of Slaanesh on a Hellflayer. Power level 5, HQ choice, movement 12, weapon skill, ballistic skill 2+, strength 4, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 8, 4-up save. It's got Lashes of Torment, Bladed Axle, Lashing Tongues and Ravaging Claws. The Bladed Axle is ×2 strength, fighting at strength 8, -1, 2 damage. When the bearer fights, makes d6 additional attacks with this weapon, no more than that number of attacks can be made with this weapon. And usual special rules, Locus of Slaanesh, knows 1 power, so it can manifest a power, deny 1, and knows smite 1 other power. Fiends. Power level 2, Elite's choice. Movement 14. 3+, weapon skill, no ballistic skill, strength 4, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 7, 6-up save. There's loads of attacks with these. The Blissbringer just has an extra attack. So 5 attacks. And that's it. So you get 1 fiend. You can additionally contain up to 8. If this unit contains at least 3, it can contain a Blissbringer instead of 1 fiend. Every model is equipped with Dissecting Claws and Vicious Barbed Tail. So Dissecting Claws is strength user, strength 4, AP -1, 2 damage. Resolve an attack made by this weapon, a wound of a 6+, it's AP -4. Vicious Barbed Tail, strength user, AP -3 and D3 damage. When the bearer fights, no more than 1 attack can be made with this weapon. Usual special rules, Disruptive Song. When a psychic test is taken from a model within 12 inches of any enemy model's disability, subtract 1 from the total. And Soporific Musk. Units within an inch of any model's disability cannot fall back. Whoa, unless they can fly. Nasty. And then Seekers next. Fast attack. Power level 5. Movement 14. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 3+, strength 3, toughness 3. 2 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 7, 6 up save. Just get an extra attack if you take the Heart Seeker. So 3 attacks. You get 5 of them in the unit, including the Heartseeker. You can take 5 more, or 10 more, or 15 more of these. And every model is equipped with a lashing tongue and piercing claws. So we know the rules for that. One Seeker that doesn't have an instrument of chaos can take a demonic icon. One Seeker that does not have a demonic icon can take an instrument of chaos. Usual Chaos Demon special rules. Unholy Speed. When a charge roll is made for this unit, you can reroll the dice. Instrument of Chaos. If this unit has an instrument of chaos, then when an advance or charge roll is made of this unit, add 1 to the roll. And demonic icon. If this unit has a demonic icon, then when a morale test is taken with this unit, roll 1. Roll of 1 is auto pass, and you can return up to D3 destroyed models from this unit back to the battlefield with all of their wounds, placing them in a unit coherency. It's crazy. Alright, and then on to horrors here. So, Troops Choice, power level 4, movement 6, weapon skill 4+, this is for a pink horror, 4+, weapon skill 9, ballistic skill, strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 7, 6 up save. A blue horror, all the same movement, these ones here. 5+ weapon skill over the blue horror, strength 2, toughness 3, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 7, 6 up save. They're all leadership 7, all are 6 up save. The pair of brimstone horrors, movement 6, weapon skill 5+, strength 1, toughness 3, 1 wound, 2 attacks. And then iridescent horror, movement 6. Weapon and skill and ballistic skill 4+, strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, 2 attacks. So you can contain any combination of the following: pink horrors, blue horrors, pairs of brimstone horrors. This unit contains 10 models. Can additionally contain up to 10 more models, or up to 20. This unit can contain 1 iridescent horror instead of 1 pink horror. The iridescent horror and every pink horror equipped with coruscating flames. Which is range 18, assault 2, strength for user AP 0 and 1 damage. For every 10 models, this unit contains 1 pink horror that does not have an instrument of chaos, can have a demonic icon. And for every 10 models in this unit, 1 pink horror that does not have a demonic icon, can have an instrument of chaos. Gets demonic ritual. Iridescent horror counts as a pink horror for the purposes of this unit's other abilities. Split. When a pink horror in this unit is destroyed in any phase other than the morale phase, you can add up to 2 blue horrors to this unit before removing that pink horror from play. When a blue horror in this unit is destroyed in any phase other than the morale phase, you can add 1 pair of brimstone horrors to this unit before removing that blue horror from play. When adding a model to this unit using this ability, it must be placed in unit coherency, and so on. Matched play. The note here is models added to this unit using the split ability must be paid for with reinforcement points, but can take the unit above its starting size. You still have to pay for it though. It's a strange way of reinforcements. But getting free models, they really have cut it back hard. Apart from Necrons, I suppose. I'm not really affected by that. Yeah, Ephemeral Demons. Pink horrors have an invuln save of 4+, blue horrors 5+, brimstone horrors 6 up. Magical Horde. Whilst this unit contains 20 more pink horrors, the type characteristic of coruscating flames the model is equipped with is Assault 3. Psyche unit. For manifesting or denying a psychic power of this unit, select 1 model in this unit to be the source. Manifesting or denying that psychic power, measure distances and, if required, line of sight from that model. If this unit suffers perils, it suffers D3 mortal wounds as described in the core rules, but units within 6 will only suffer mortal wounds if the perils of the walk causes the last model to be slain. And then Magic Made Manifest. A psychic test. Deny the which test is taken with this unit, roll 1d6 instead of 2d6. In addition, when this unit manifests Smite, whilst it contains fewer than 10 pink horrors, the closest visible enemy unit within 18 can only suffer 1 mortal wound, irrespective of the result of the psychic test. And then Brimstone Horror. When a pair of Brimstone Horrors in the unit is selected as the source of manifesting or denying a psychic power, that model is destroyed after the psychic power has been resolved or denied. Demonic Icon. If this unit has any demonic icons, then when a morale test is taken with this unit, on a roll of a 1 it auto pass, and you can return up to D6 destroyed pink horrors from this unit to the battlefield with 1 wound remaining, placing them in unit coherency. And then Instrument of Chaos. If this unit has any instruments of chaos, then when an advance or charge roll is made, you add 1 to the result. And you can manifest 1 psychic power and deny 1. It knows Smite. That's it. That's for them. Okay, and then there's a few here for Khorne. So Blood Crushers and Flesh Hounds updated here. So I'll call these out. I don't know how far the update and the changes are with these. But Elite's Choice, power level 6 for Blood Crushers. Movement 8, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3, plus strength 5, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 7, 4 up save. Blood Hunter is movement 8, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3 plus. And it's all the same, just get an extra attack. You get 1 Blood Hunter and 2 Blood Crushers. It can additionally get out to 3 Blood Crushers or 6 or 9. Every model is equipped with a bladed horn and Hellblade. They're crazy models, these ones do look very cool. So, pretty good. The bladed horn is strength for the user, which is strength 5, AP -1 on 1 damage. When the bearer fights, it makes additional attacks with this weapon, makes 3 additional attacks with this weapon, no more than 3 can be made with this weapon. Resolve an attack made by this weapon in a turn in which the bearer made a charge move. Has a strength characteristic of +2 for the attacks, final strength 7. And the Hellblade, strength for the user, AP -3, 1 damage. Any 6s to wound is damage 2. War gear, as Instrument of Chaos, can have a demonic icon. If it doesn't have a demonic icon, it can have an Instrument of Chaos. Covered those rules, and it has demonic unstoppable ferocity and demonic ritual. Flesh Hounds then fast attack, power level 4. That's for 5 of them. You can take 5 more, 10 more, 15 more. For every 5, it can contain 1 Gorehound instead of 1 Flesh Hound. Every Gorehound is equipped with a burning roar, gore-drenched fangs, and every Flesh Hound is equipped with gore-drenched fangs. Nice. Sound particularly nasty. They're all movement 10, weapon skill 3 plus for each. The Gorehound's ballistic skill 6 plus, strength 4, toughness 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 7, 6 up save. And the Burning Roar is range 8, assault D6, strength 4. It also hits AP 0 at 1 damage. And the Fangs, the Gore-Drenched Fangs, is strength user, AP -1, 1 damage. There's demonic, unstoppable ferocity, demonic ritual. And the Collar of Khorne. Once in each of your opponent's psychic phases, you can select one model in this unit to attempt to resist a psychic power in the same manner as a psyker by taking it to the Witch test. If you do so, that model must be within 24 of any model before manifesting that psychic power. Okay, that's them covered. So next, I'm not planning to cover these here, it's Fortifications. They're clarifying the rules here. So you've got your Aegis Defence line, Imperial Bastion, Imperial Defence line, Imperial Bunker, Vengeance Weapon, Batteries, the Firestorm Redoubt, Plasma Obliterator. It's just handy they continue just to keep these all updated, so you can just refer to this one, not flicking through different publications. Macro Cannon Aquila Strongpoint, Vortex Missile Aquila Strongpoint, Void Shield Generator, Sky Shield Landing Pads, we've made use of that in a few of our games. Fortress of Redemption, the rules for that. Chaos Bastion, rules there. And then they've clarified the terrain as well. So now you've got woodland, barricades, thermic plasma conduits, ruins, Militarum armoured containers. Okay, cool. Craters. Seems to be normal rules here. Galvanic servo haulers, the Heliotrope reactors, obstacles, Sector Mechanicus, Imperial Sanctuary, thermic plasma regulators, and then Deathworld forests and Sealed Frontiers structure. That's that one there, I suppose. Rules clarified for that as well. And that is it. There's an emptiness there with the points values taken out, but Games Workshop have done a very comprehensive job here with this field manual. I think it's a good idea, very handy reference, that one. And then your chapter approved. Looking forward to trying out the new missions, especially the way Maelstrom of War has changed around. So it'll be interesting to try those missions out. But that's the full review here. For the points values, check out the Militarum field manual. I've broken that down into 4 parts just to make it easier for you to watch those videos. And then remember to check out the new Blood of Baal Psychic Awakening book. There's a full review for that. Also, so some great upgrades there for the Blood Angels now. It's good news for them, Tyranids as well. But that's the review here for Chapter Approved 2019. Leave your own comments and feedback, and be sure to check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.